We learned this week of further evidence to support the gathering theory that the current government of the United States is deeply and worrisomely compromised by Big Map.
I can't wait to see where this goes.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Let's see where this goes.
Yes, we learned that after bunging the world's cartographers a doubtless hugely profitable tranche of work by renaming the Gulf of Mexico,
the button was pushed. It became official with this proclamation to call today Gulf of America Day. But now it's going out. As we're sitting here right now, our team is calling all the map providers, so Google Maps, Apple Maps, all the map people. That change will take effect this afternoon to Gulf of America.
And then waiting until everybody had ordered their new maps. Come on, let's have a sound effect of a map unfurling. The Trump administration had, on the eve of a visit to the Middle East, struck again.
If you're just getting used to the switch from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, you might want to keep taking notes, as President Trump is set to announce the U.S. will soon refer to the Persian Gulf as the Arabian Gulf or Gulf of Arabia.
Sure, what could go wrong? We learned, however, that President Trump was, as ever, determined to proceed with the utmost sensitivity to easily inflamed sensibilities.
They're going to ask me about that when I get there, and I'll have to make a decision. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't know if feelings are going to be hurt.
We learned of a partial, if not preemptive, answer to that poser from Abbas Araghchi, Foreign Minister of the Islamic Republic of Iran, which believes itself, reasonably enough, custodian of the unarguably glorious heritage of the Persian Empire, and whose words will be read with due solemnity by Monocle's Persian Empire desk chief, Fernando Augusto Pacheco.
Let's hope that the absurd rumors about the Persian Gulf that are going around are no more than a disinformation campaign by forever warriors to anger Iranians all over the world and agitate them. Any short-sighted step in this connection will have no validity or legal or geographical effect. It will only bring the wrath of all Iranians from all walks of life and political persuasion in Iran, the US, and across the world.
We'll put him down as undecided, etc. But
no one has ever escaped from Alcatraz.
I'm in.
Me too. And no one ever will.
we learned that President Trump doesn't just pull this stuff out of thin air. No, stick with us. We learned a great deal about the far-reaching extent of the meticulous research that informs the policy decisions of President Trump.
Clint Eastwood is Frank Morris in Escape from Alcatraz.
He's in the jailhouse now. 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 I told him once.
We learned upon flicking, as we so very often do, through the broadcasting schedules of South Florida PBS affiliate WLRN-TV, that last Saturday night and Sunday morning, the channel was showing Don Siegel's 1979 classic Escape from Alcatraz, in which Clint Eastwood stars in an account of the daring 1962 breakout from the infamous prison island in San Francisco Bay by three men never seen since, presumed drowned.
They left at lights out. They had a 9.5-hour head start. I wonder if they made it.
Anyway, we learned, or inferred really, that at least one elderly viewer in the Palm Beach vicinity had been tuning in.
President Trump said he is directing his administration to reopen Alcatraz prison to hold America's most violent criminals.
We learned at least that the president does have a greater enthusiasm for public broadcasting than he usually lets on, but definitely learned that he had thought this all the way through and absolutely was not proceeding on the basis of a brainstorm which had descended somewhere between the 17th and 18th handful of Cheetos.
It's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is. I mean, it's a bad symbol, but it's a symbol of law and order. And, it's got quite a history, frankly. So I think we're going to do that, and we're looking at it right now.
And we learn, returning to the TV guide, that this weekend WLRN is showing Michael Crichton's 1978 romp, The Great Train Robbery.
What do you take me for?
And it takes the world by surprise. Sean Connery.
What could go wrong?
Donald Sutherland. Leslie Ann Down.
The great train robbery. The all-time perfect crime.
So if, come Monday, Trump outlines a plan for paying off the national debt by engaging an aristocratic thief to bail up the London to Folkestone Express, we'll know what's happened.
The great train robbery, starring Sean Connery, the greatest scoundrel hero who ever lived.
Do you ever tell anyone the truth?
The truth?
No, doesn't remind us of anyone either. But sticking with the subject of the US president and the cinematic arts...
Vem du? Jag döden. Kommer du för att hämta mig?
We learned of woeful tidings for the many, many fans among Trump supporters in Magaland of Ingmar Bergman, Claude Chabrol, Jean-Luc Godard and Andrei Tarkovsky. Yes, we learned that the president, who very definitely has even the vaguest idea of how tariffs work, had decided to slap 100% on fancy-pants foreign films with their subtitles and lack of car chases.
We used to do 100, not long ago, 100%. Now we do almost like very little. It's shocking.
From which we learned that he also has even the vaguest idea of how the film industry works. But we learned that in between acquiring even the vaguest idea of how tariffs or the film industry work, the president had been developing his recent intriguing theme to the effect that Americans have become overly materialistic and acquisitive and are spoiling their ghastly children who have too many dolls.
I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have 30 dolls. I think they can have 3 dolls or 4 dolls.
And just way too many pencils.
They don't need to have 250 pencils. They can have 5.
But you're basically saying there could be some supply shortages because of the tariffs.
We don't have to waste money.
It's like Jimmy Carter never left us. There are those who might argue that this is fine talk coming from someone whose son, when aged 4, pootled between the gold-plated bathrooms in the family's Manhattan apartment in a miniature electric Mercedes-Benz convertible with a personalized number plate. But we learned from US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent that the imminent toy rationing is ultimately in the best interests of a nation's children.
I would tell that young girl that you will have a better life than your parents, that you and your family, thanks to President Trump, can now be confident again that you will have a better life than your parents.
Fun fact, Bessent is generally reckoned to own slightly more houses than American kids will shortly be permitted pencils. For Monocle Radio, I'm Andrew Mueller.